Welcome to Juhl Media. My name's Ching Juhl. Since 2020, the pandemic lockdown, I have created this YouTube live interview program. So far, I had a privilege of interviewing activists, filmmakers, musicians, entrepreneurs, politicians, and people from all walks of life. Today, my guest is Wendy Zhang, a very talented woman who is a businesswoman, who is a mother, who is a brand builder from China. Let's welcome Wendy. Hello, Wendy. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. Great to see you. So we have a special connection, and would you like to tell our guest?
Yeah, we me and Ching is alumni back in high school and middle school. So although we two didn't have any chance to spend time together at our middle school, whose name is Shanghai Number Three Girls School. It's the only girls school in Shanghai, China. But we got to know each other from some alumni reunion connect, and we two just quickly clicked to each other. So I think we'd love to spend more time sharing more with each other and with you all.
Yeah, also the special thing is that we're both Shanghainese. So when we talk, we have Shanghai dialect.
Yeah, it always feels good to use our hometown tongue to say anything.
Yeah, so let's first of all, the person organized this interview, and also besides, I know Wendy through a party, and I want to thank Jie, and tell us just a little bit about what is number three girls high school.
Sure. As I said, it's the only all-girls school in Shanghai, China. So I always feel very unique to be graduating from such a special school. And I spent only 2 years there, but that 2 years has been a very unique and memorable experience to me. It's a very, I would say, rewarding journey for me to spend 2 years in an environment that with all the girls, with all different personalities, but at the same level of a talented girls. So believe it or not, when I came to US, I also sent two of my two daughters to all girls school here in New York City. I see that. Not a family tradition, but I would say a legacy that I want to share with them. That how a girl can grow into a lady in such an environment with all the girls' friends around you.
Yeah, thank you for pointing out these things. I almost don't remember it being so long for me because you are much younger than me. I remember those days. One thing is when I went to the high school, the middle school. You don't have to have very good grades. You just have to live in this area, right? So my mother would make sure we do not move out of this area because we want to go to this school. And later on, now I know it's a very privileged, kind of
Yeah,
like a
it's
private school.
super
Yeah,
selective, super competitive. Everyone wants to go there, but there is a very strict screening process. So it's really a privilege to be there.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about, I'm very intrigued about your background and your accomplishment. You are a brand builder, you're a business person, you are entrepreneur. How did all these what do you call talent and work and come from? Like, is your parents, your mother, your father, or your family is in the business or entrepreneur thinking and doing?
I think my dad has been in trading industry for a long time, but I don't think I have a ton of interest in trading. But I graduated at the year of like 2003. At that time, the first offer I got was like a Deloitte as an auditor. That was like I think so-called like a big four consulting firm is very much sought after. Everyone wants like an offer from them. I was lucky enough getting one, but I questioned myself like, do I really see myself working in a data industry? I would say maybe not. So I keep applying to some other companies, and finally I got an offer from Unilever, and that was an offer from marketing department. So I would say that was a very difficult decision for me to make. At that time, the offer like number, the amount that Unilever can offer is only almost like only half of what Deloitte can offer. But I successfully convinced my parents that marketing is the field that I want like to fight in instead of like auditing, taxing, like taxation, all these like data business. So I took Unilever's offer as my first job after the graduation, and since then I have spent all my like time in brand marketing field even until now.
Yeah. So when you say you graduate, are you meaning you graduate in
From college,
from
from
college
undergraduate.
in
Yeah,
China? In
yeah,
China.
that was like a 2003.
Oh, so how is, I guess by then, the philosophy or business or philosophy of learning or education is already changed from my time. And I was just wondering how Chinese way of thinking, how influence the Western uh, business and market, you know.
If I look back, I would definitely call like time at that like around like a 20 like 2000 age. That was like good old time because at that time all the like so-called like international like corporate like they want to enter China and they want to like set up team, set up offices in China and do business with China. That actually created a lot of like job opportunities, right, across all the functions like marketing, like supply chain, like finance. So everyone can get a good job at the time, like because every business, every company is expanding their their business. So like opportunities are like everywhere. So I would say um, unlike unlike today, the best choice you can get as a job offer, um, the best choice you can get from as a job offer is to work for so-called like U.S. companies because they are most generous when they give you like the package, and they are more like human centric. They seldomly ask you to work until super late in the night. So basically, if you say like ROI, like the return on investment, working for a US company is always like the best option at the time.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So, you are the bridge between the East and the West. So, when you come eventually to the West, so what happened? You just landed in financial district in New York City.
Oh no, I think that was quite a journey because after working for PepsiCo China for 7 years, I got an opportunity to be relocated from PepsiCo China to PepsiCo headquarters here in Purchase, New York. So I think I really cherish that opportunity doing, because if you look at the word of like marketing, basically US is the hometown of the concept of marketing, right? So I really want to see what I can do in this like hometown for marketing industry. So I took the opportunity and like relocated my whole family of four to first to Westchester, New York. So I spent 5 years in Westchester, New York. That was quite a change. Like from I in my first 36 years, I spent my life in Shanghai, which is a typical like a metropolitan. So when I first got in Westchester, New York, it was a very, very different lifestyle. This is my first time living in a house, a single family house. So I have to learn how to fix the leaking roof, how to fix like the flooded basement. This is even how to shovel the snow in winter for my driveway. This is very new techniques to learn for me. So I spent some time like settling myself down. But I would say uh, that 5 years is really a rewarding 5 years. Living in Westchester, working for PepsiCo headquarters.
Now, when you talk about marketing, it is such a word that almost every field can use. So you are very lucky to be an expert in that sense. And so, can you imagine doing other marketing works like for arts or any other field?
I would definitely say so. I would say like marketing is a model. If you want to like market a mug, a pen, a TV set, or like for me, my day to day life, my daytime job is to marketing Pepsi trademark as soda, right? But you can basically marketing everything. If you look at like all these like political campaigns, what the team is trying to marketing is an icon, is a figure, right? So basically, um, when you buy a product from, for example, L'Oreal as a skincare, it is a jar of promise. Like you will be like you are told if you buy this product, like you will be like you will look younger, you will have like less wrinkles. This is just a jar of promise. Similarly, even in like the presidential campaign, right? All the policies laid out is also a jar of promise. You have to like put a lot of your trust to the slogans, to like the people like you are seeing every day on television, to believe that they can deliver what they promised you. So I would say they are all marketings, right? And in my personal life, I have two daughters. I also use a lot of my marketing skills trying to package their profile when they applied to college, because like a college application here in US is quite a miss nowadays, right? So I do feel very blessed that I have like the foundational knowledge to like make their profile help their profile stand out a little bit better than their peers.
Yeah. So speaking of family and your daughter, how do you juggle around being a mom of two? I can't even handle one when my son, go through all, from 5 years old all to 21 years old. So yeah, yeah, can you do your work at home and still be a mom?
Yeah, I would say like I don't I don't want to claim that I am like good at like balancing so-called like work and life, because I would definitely say it's impossible, right? Uh am I still with you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, basically it's an almost impossible task. But I think I just like try my best, try to make my calendar as flexible as I can. Just like focus in the moment. If I am at work, if I am in a meeting, I just put all in, like focus 100%. But after I like sign off the work, I just focus 100% on my family and kids.
All right, so let me put you back. Sorry, I don't do this. So yeah. Now I, I I have I have a question. From a musician
Go
point of
ahead.
view, from someone who's really bad with the money. Um, why would PepsiCo need more marketer? Isn't that they're so famous and their brand is like no one can beat them up except Coca Cola maybe.
Yeah. I think that's a good question, and believe it or not, this is not only a question from you. It is also a question from our CEO because they always like want to cut our marketing fund, right? But I would say like if you look at like a consumer like a decision process, right? Yes, PepsiCo has like Pepsi trademark has like the highest awareness that a brand can get, right? But only having a high awareness of a brand cannot guarantee a purchase. When a consumer is standing in front of a shelf full of choices, like you name it, like not only in soda industry, but also in some like a hydration, like if you need something to drink, you will have more than enough options for you to choose. How can we make sure that Pepsi as a trademark, as a product, can be your top choice? That requires marketing fund. So marketing fund can not only guarantee awareness, it can also help like improve, for example, like the preference, for example, like the repeat purchase, for example, like the frequency. So that is something all related to the offtake from the shelf.
Very, very well said. Yeah, very well said. And I was just thinking, uh, I'm not gonna ask it. I'll ask you this question later. Yeah, off camera. Yeah, I have a
No
funny
problem.
question
Anytime.
to ask. uh,
Looking forward to
yes.
it.
So now, when you, so you are a person that is from east to west and west to east, and uh, can you touch a little bit more about how West way of thinking that are accepted by Chinese people or by people in the East?
Oh yeah. I would say 30 years ago or 20 years ago, um, all the new concepts from Western world, all the new products from the Western world are so new, so new, so innovative to like Chinese consumers. Believe it or not, at that time, it like if you want to try like a KFC, I personally had the experience lining up in summertime in front of a KFC store for hours just to have a piece of fried chicken in my childhood. That is something I can remember. Like I personally spent hours and hours in a super hot weather in front of a KFC store. And when McDonald entered China, it was perceived as a super premium, high-end restaurant for Chinese consumer. Someone even planned their wedding ceremony in McDonald's because that was the lifestyle, like representing Western lifestyle, and everyone like was longing for that kind of lifestyle. So anything from US or from Europe or from Japan is like stands for something advanced, something better. And similarly, in my career, I always like look up to like some talent from even Hong Kong, Taiwan, right? They kind of know a little bit better than we mainlander do, right? They had more opportunities to talk to the headquarters. Their English language skill is better than us. So that was how like I grew up as a marketeer. We always try to learn, hey, what Pepsi is doing in US. Maybe in China, we can like lift and shift a little bit, right? Maybe we can translate the advertisement, the commercial copy from US market and put a subtitle and introduce it to Chinese consumers. And it usually worked because the advertisement produced by US team is very fancy. They had like the biggest budget and they had like the biggest like celebrity, the best music. Like they really know like how to market a product. So that but now of course like everything has changed so dramatically. But at that time, like everyone look up to Western culture, Western lifestyle. If you can have a tag like imported from wherever, it will boost your sales.
When you say tag, is it a tagline like
Or a slogan.
a slogan? Yeah,
Yeah, a slogan.
yeah.
Yeah, because I also spent some years in General Mills when I did the marketing for Haagen-Dazs, and ice cream, which is actually distributed in Walmart, right, in US. But in China, when it was introduced to the consumers, it was positioned super high premium. We even refused to distribute this product in grocery store. We only open up like ice cream shops. We only open up our own ice cream shops. We serve ice cream creations, not like a packaged like ice cream bar or things like that. So and we enjoyed a lot of like premium charge out of that positioning.
Interesting. Like the tagline of Nikon is very short, right? It's called "I do," right? Is that "I
Uh,
do"?
in in China, we call it like if you love her, bring her to Haagen-Dazs.
Oh! No, I'm talking Nikon, Nike, the
Oh,
shoe.
Nike,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just do it.
Oh, just do it. Oh my God, it's so short. It's so good. And what is Pepsi? Can I ask?
Uh, Dare for more. Now the slogan is dare for more.
Therefore, more, 3 words.
Dare, DARE. Like we encourage
Oh,
our
there.
consumers.
Sorry.
Yeah, dare. We
Oh,
encourage a lot of bold moves.
uh-huh.
Um, like yeah, stand up for yourself. Stay true to yourself.
Interesting. I am a musician, right? Classical musician. When I listen to radio, when I'm driving, especially the classical music, right? I will listen and then I would like, oh, this is so and so, oh, this is what orchestra, and this is so. I'm in my brain almost thinking about that. So for you, it, you're looking at a product, day and night, 24/7. Is it kind of like a weird? Like, are you thinking about? You'll think, oh, this brand, that sucks. Their presentation.
Yeah, I actually spend a lot of time thinking of like consumer. We call it like consumer insight. What consumers they really want. Of course, we do a lot of consumer research. We ask a lot of questions to our consumers, either in quality way or quantity way, right? And I can give you some examples. Consumers can lie to you, like not intentionally, but in a lot of cases, consumers do not know what they really want. For example, if you ask a consumer, describe a beverage that you really want to drink, they will say, hey, I need something very taste good, but also I need my drink to be healthy too. I need my drink to be healthy, less sugar because I know sugar is not good. But if you do a blinded test, laying out 10 cups of beverage in front of them and ask them like, hey, which one do you like the best? They will always give you the one that with highest sugar level. So are they are they lying to you when they claim I want a healthy beverage? No, like they are speaking like faithfully, like I really need a healthy drink, but like their taste bud tells them differently. So it is always a half art, half science when we try to understand what really what the consumers really want. In a lot of cases, even themselves do not know.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, that taste is, I guess, very important, and people are so drawn by the sugar,
Mhm.
and even they know if they have diabetes or some other right condition, they're not supposed to consume too much sugar, but they still do. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
indulgence is irresistible.
yeah,
I would say.
yeah. So I want to thank we have audience with us. Thank you so much watching us,
Yeah, and,
and
and I also see a
yeah,
lot of like interesting comments.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
So
shark fin tag. Yes, you are
yeah,
absolutely right. KFC, like it's a separate company. They call like Yum China.
yeah,
Yum China is a separately listed, publicly listed company now. They have their separate P&L, separated from global Yum. So it's a if my memory is correct, Yum China contributes more than a quarter, more than a quarter business to total global Yum. So Yum China has now grown to uh, a giant standalone business. And if you like Shark FinTech, if you have the opportunity visiting China, I highly encourage you to visit any like a KFC stores, because the menu is so different in KFC China versus KFC US. You can taste they are super localized in China right now. You can taste a lot of things that you can only taste in China KFC.
yeah. I haven't since what do you call KFC be in China. I've never had one. So now
Oh, you
that
should try. You should try. They sell congee, like they sell like youtiao, like they sell a lot of very uniquely localized items that I encourage everyone to have a try in China.
my bad. I was trying to take this thing out, and then
No problem.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm
No
sorry
problem.
to the people. Um, yeah. So you were saying KFC says youtiao.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a very localized
oh,
food.
oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to still take off Shark Fan so I can list other people. Shark Fan, you said something about Haagen-Dazs. What you say? But sadly,
Yeah,
also so
Haagen-Dazs is so good, but with a lot of sugar, calorie, and overpriced.
mm,
You are right. You are right. It's
yeah,
super sweet. It's
yeah,
super
yeah,
super sweet. Mhm.
yeah. I actually love Haagen-Dazs, but I don't really eat Christ meat ice cream that much. Yeah.
I see. I see. I
Yeah.
see.
So now back to your knowledge and your profession. Uh, is it difficult to ask your family to eat healthy and to look at the business how their way of marketing shows their ability to uh, grab audience, I guess.
Oh, it's quite the opposite, because my daughters, they are not a big fan of soda. They
Uh-huh.
kind of feel, I think they are knowledgeable in terms of like soda is not a healthy choice. So they actually turn to some like more emerging brands, like newly launched brands. So they seldomly like drink soda, and every time I I know this, and my managers know this. It is quite like heartbroken. Like it becomes, let me put it that way, it becomes more and more difficult to attract younger like audience to be in our consumer pool. Let me give you an example. Imagine like 50 years ago, if someone like all the Pepsi or Coca-Cola, like all these like soda advertisement makes you feel drinking soda is such a cool thing, right? But now, like the whole soda industry does not look cool at all. If you want to choose something to represent I am cool, you might be choosing, I don't know, iPhone, right? Some earbuds, like these are like all these tech products. These are the items you will love to attach to yourself to show, hey, I'm cool, I'm on trend. You won't be feeling having a can of soda like walking around makes you look cool, right? But that was the case 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So it so that is a very like a mega headwind that like as a marketeer for for Pepsi or for soda, the very big challenge we are facing. So we are trying our best like to attach our brand, for example, to music, to Super Bowl halftime show, right? To sports. So because these are the occasions where all these young people are gathering and they feel that occasions are cool, that occasions are trendy. So these are all these efforts that marketeers are trying to make the brand stay cool.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Different era has
Mhm.
different coolness, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. And yeah. And people actually are willing to spend
yeah,
$1,400 to buy an iPhone.
yeah. There
Yeah.
are a lot of like so-called like added value.
Uh-huh.
You are not only buying a functional cell phone, you are buying like the best technology. You are buying like the best trend. You kind of feel you are stay on top of the trend if you are using iPhone.
Hmm. Yeah. So back to family and your children, and I was just wondering, your profession, do they get influenced by your profession, meaning they also analyze what product they should use or they should not use, or what they should encourage consume, or they're too young for that?
I would say the biggest impact I put on them is like they have like the ability to unfilter a lot of things. They know how a brand is built. Is like all the brands are built by someone like their mom, right? So they kind of like has the ability to decode a lot of myths from a brand. So I would say, for example, they have less passion buying a Chanel purse because yeah, Chanel is a very cool brand, but it does not like worth that much because why you feel Chanel is super premium, super luxury because someone like my mom make it look like so. so so I don't want to pay premium for brand like that because I don't have any filter for these brands. So I might say that is like the biggest influence I put on them in terms of like marketing, like branding, all kind of things.
Very interesting. And we're talking mostly marketing our goods and product. And I also would say when you want to buy a house and you're dealing with middle person, a realtor, now do you look at them from marketing point of view, like are they good business sense, do they do well in marketing? And sometimes isn't that marketing is not truly what they do. They could say they're so wonderful. How do you assess these services?
Mhm. Service is a very different category, especially when you use the example of like a real estate, right? The biggest uniqueness in real estate is like every property is different from the other one, right? Um, unlike like soda, like Pepsi is a little bit different from Coca-Cola, but they are pretty much quite similar, right? Nike like versus Adidas versus Under Armour, like they basically provide you like very similar function and emotional like benefit, right? But like real estate is a very unique industry. Like every property, basically every property is different. You cannot find a similar one to the one that you are negotiating against, right? So assessing the service is a very subjective feel. It's basically a feeling. So you will it will be very easy for you to pay more to services like that, as long as like the middleman can make you feel good. So this is it's a people business. So if like this one can make you feel good, like you will be happy to pay him or her more. So yeah, that's not like standard, because no service is standard. Unlike a product can be standardized, but service or like property cannot be standardized. That's why it's always a little bit more difficult to truly put a price tag to that.
Yeah, speaking of service, and I compared to China, right, especially Shanghai, other city, I don't really know enough. Shanghai services, we're talking about hotel service, restaurant service, even merchant when you walk in to buy something from a fancy store, and American service is so much better. And so, do you think China is learning that and to improve their service quality? It's kind of like it's like a brand builder, also, right?
Yeah, true. Because like every country has its own brand, right? What does like US stand for, right? What does like China stand for, right? I would defend a little bit for the services now in China. I kind of feel a little bit different from what you just described. I feel the service in not only in China, like in Asia, more broadly speaking, is a lot better than the service in US, especially when you consider the, I will allow me to complain a little bit about like the tipping culture here in US. I kind of feel like the tipping culture here in US is out of control. It's like so insane. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Like considering like the tips you are offering to all the services you are enjoying, I would say they are not like value for the money that we pay for their service as a tip. Comparing to like if you are in Japan, in Thailand, even now in China, there is no tips. The tipping culture does not exist at all in Asia. You do not need to pay anything for the service, but you will be receiving a lot better services in Asia. So yeah, I know what you were referring to. I would say maybe 10 years ago, the services in China, because they have no idea what a good service should look like, because they at that time they had no idea, right? But now they are so their horizon has been broadened. They know what is good, what is bad. They know what's going on internationally. Basically, any news happening in US, they know it right away, because thanks to the internet, like basically the Earth is flat now, literally, right? So um, after they know what is good, they always like ask themselves to live up to like the highest standard. This is how like basically all Asian people, like we always put a very high standard on ourselves, right? So yeah, this is how I feel about like the so-called like service comparison. Mhm.
That's good to know. I think I don't live there long enough now, right? And it's a
Yeah.
long time. Yeah, when I went back, 1990 early, uh, yeah, and those times are not that great, and now I do go back still, and stay there limited time. And let's see, Shukfin has a long question.
I saw that. Yeah. Brand loyalty is like the best medal a brand can get. I would say Coke is so lucky to have you as their loyal consumer, especially like in today's environment, the loyalty level to basically to any brand um, is declining. Not only to soda, like I would say it is easier for even an iPhone user to be switched to Android, right, to Samsung, because the speed of innovation is more like faster and faster. So consumers are facing more and more choices. So I won't blame them like to be less and less like loyal to any brand. So this is a challenge in front of every marketeer. So basically, we have no choice, but we have to spend more time to recruit new users because that is the only way to keep our consumer pool big enough. Because we know, like keep them loyal is more and more difficult. So, like Shakfeng, I won't challenge myself to say anything, to change, like to switch, like basically to convert you from a Coke drinker to a Pepsi drinker. I know how difficult it is. I know how attached you are to a brand like Coke. So yeah, that's basically how I see that's why we as a marketeer I see loyalty is like the best medal a brand can get.
So, do you have a method? I know you're not going to convince someone who drinks Coca-Cola to convert to Pepsi Cola. And but if you have a choice, do you do it subtly, or do you have like a special method to do that?
Yeah, remember Pepsi launched a campaign called the Pepsi Challenge decades ago because there was always a saying, maybe a myth among the Coke consumers. Shakfi, I'm not sure whether you are one of them, that Coke tastes better than Pepsi. So based on that myth, we launched a campaign named the Pepsi Challenge. Basically, we ask a lot of consumers to do the blinded test. We give you two cups of soda, like, hey, tell me which one is better, and then we review the result. Basically, the result will show more than 60% consumers choose Pepsi, like the Pepsi cup, as the better taste one. So we look the objective of this campaign is to break the myth, to break it sounds like a little bit like counterintuitive, right? Like you believe um, you choose Coke because Coke tastes better. But now I'm telling you, it's not the case. Pepsi tastes better, right? But there are still a lot of like consumers will like stick to Coke, even though they are told no. According to this like Pepsi challenge result, more than 60 people feel like Pepsi tastes better. I will still stay with the brand I love, right? So, but this is, I think, a good effort, right, to convey the message that we want to deliver.
Yeah, you use statistics, right? You use comparison,
Yeah,
and
and
it's
and
tangible. Yeah.
yeah, and you cannot imagine like if you look at the faces of these consumers, they were so confident, like this one is Coke because this one I know Coke tastes better, and this one tastes better. I know this one must be Coke, and then then it was revealed, hey, quite the opposite.
So personally, are you sick of drinking Pepsi, or you drink something else? What do you?
Um,
What's your life like?
I will choose like the diet version of Pepsi. I am a user. I'm actually a loyal user of Pepsi Black. I have to be conscious about like the sugar level, but I cannot refuse like the refreshing, like the like the refreshing that only soda can give you. especially in summer, like
Mm.
with some ice,
The bubbles.
the
Yeah,
bubbles.
yeah. Okay, so we're almost at our only time, and before we talk about one more thing, I would like to ask our audience and people who are listening now or listening later. And this is Juhl Media, my YouTube channel, and my Instagram is also called Juhl Media. So you can look at my Instagram and feel free to add. Yeah, what else? I used to do this interview once a week.
Mhm.
Now I do perhaps 2 times a month or even 1 times a month. So I put more energy onto shorts. So check my YouTube shorts. It's all about music. Yeah. So thank you so much. And Wendy, if someone wanted to find you, where can they find you? Or you
Uh,
don't do social media?
I don't do social media a lot because I always try to tell my kids that maybe they need to refrain themselves a little bit from the social media, and I want to set a good example for them. I don't want them to say, "Hey, mom, like you are like you stick to your cell phone, and why can't I?" Right? So I try to be a good example, like setting up like the benchmark for them. So I try not to be too addicted to social media. Try my best.
You don't need to market yourselves.
But like I'd love to, but
Yeah.
my current like priority is
Uh-huh.
to send my to raise my kids and
Yeah.
to send them to like the best college that I can. So
Yeah.
this is at least my priority at this life stage.
Thank you. Well, last question. If you were the speaker at the Shanghai Third Middle School, High School, actually it's a middle school and high school,
Yeah,
and what would you say to them?
like to develop a slogan for them.
No, 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 just as a speaker, like an inspirational sentence
Okay,
or items
okay.
to these young girls.
I would say like being being independent is not is not something that you are born with. It is something you have to practice um, on a daily basis. And all girls school, like the number three all girls schools in China, is the best platform for you to practice your independence. I think it creates um, a very unique environment that like outside of the school cannot provide um, for you to be yourself, especially developing, like sharpening your skills, being independent, which I would say is one of the most crucial skills that you can adopt, getting you prepared for your future life.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Wendy, for this beautiful chatting with me. And I hope to see you in person again soon.
Hopefully soon. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, people, we're going to end our stream and see you next time. Bye now.
Bye.